I'm Jill Pilon, and this is my studio. Thanks, Doug, for inviting me to be a artist spotlight. I'm also the co-owner of the Cube, and yeah, I'm here to talk about my latest series, my wrestlers.
What was your inspiration?
My inspiration was these vintage wrestling magazines I found at a flea market. I was walking through, and I've always been, and in most of my work, you'll see like sometimes I use collage, but I'm really drawn to like vintage ads and advertising, and the colors even with like the vintage magazines. And I saw these like 3 funky wrestling magazines, and yeah, and I bought them. And the guy at first was like super scared when I bought them, because he's like, what are you going to use with them, because they're super cool. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure, maybe collage. But he was a little horrified that I'd like wrecked the magazines, which I have not. But yeah, anyway, so that just sparked my the series for the wrestlers. Yeah.
Nice. And what is the have you noticed the initial idea morphing quite a bit? Like, what did it start out with, and what are you can you point at like some of the earlier pieces and how it's morphing?
Well, I guess some of the earlier pieces would be kind of like these guys, actually, and those. And I think right now I'm kind of in a in-between stage. I think this is actually an in-between. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an in-between piece here that I think that the direction might start to go in a little bit more, but I haven't quite pulled it together quite yet in that way. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to start to use the colors and just kind of play with my kind of messy abstract way I tend to paint anyways. And yeah, so like this I started, and I'm this one's kind of like after this piece, and I think that it's kind of getting to where maybe I want to start to go with it a little bit more. But yeah, I'm still in that kind of playing around process, so they kind of feel like a little bit like studies to me in a way. So yeah.
What's your medium?
I use so many things, but basically collage, acrylics, charcoal, silk screens I use as well, which I'm really excited. I'm getting the wrestlers put on some silk screens, so that'll be really fun to start to play with. Pencil, pretty much everything I kind of throw at it, which is why I love working on cradled wood panels. Is generally what I prefer to work.
Yeah. So these are for sale. How would one purchase one from you?
Yes. Well, I stepped away a little bit from the studio to focus on my other creative adventure, which is the Cube. So I got rid of my other website, but I'm in the process of creating a new website. So when that comes up, I'll be putting it on. But right now, Instagram is the best way that people have been contacting me. And then I'm going to do a show here in March as well. But basically, my email, Instagram, anything like that for purchasing, which is generally how people, until my website gets up and running again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Jill. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?